If I was 18 years old today, I would be slightly worried. Not because AI is going to take every job, but because there are probably thousands of students right now learning things that may have very little value by the time they graduate. And at the same time, there are students using AI to research faster, analyze data, build projects, automate work, and become incredibly productive. The difference between these two students is going to become very large. So, if I had to start college again today, I would not learn 25 AI tools. I would learn 5 AI skills, and these are the 5 I want to explain in this video. For those of you who don't know me, for more than a decade, I worked with consulting firms, large companies, and business teams solving real problems. And one thing becomes very clear once you enter the workplace. Companies don't really pay you because you know a tool. They pay you because you can use tools to solve problems. Excel was a tool, PowerPoint was a tool, Google is a tool, and AI is also a tool, just a more powerful one. I have also created a completely free AI skills playbook for students for this video. It has these 5 skills, practice exercises, 30-day learning plan, and 3 projects that you can actually build for your portfolio. I'll leave the link in the description, download it, and follow along with this video. And this isn't just an AI hype. The World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report says employers expect 39% of workers' core skills to change by 2030. AI and big data are amongst the fastest growing skill areas. But here's what I find much more interesting. AI getting better does not mean thinking becomes less important. It probably means the opposite. So let's start with skill number 1. Most students are already using AI for research. You ask ChatGPT a question, it gives you an answer, you copy the answer, done. That's not the skill I'm talking about. Imagine tomorrow you join a company and your manager says, "Can you tell me why our competitor is growing faster than us?" Well, there is no textbook chapter for that. You need to figure out who are the competitors, what changed, what do customers want, what are competitors doing differently, which information can you trust, and what actually matters. That's AI research. You should be able to give AI a broad question and break it into smaller questions. Find information, compare multiple sources, identify contradictions, and finally produce a one-page summary that another person can actually use. Here's a simple exercise. Pick any company you like: Meta, Reliance, Zomato, Nike, Apple, anything. Use AI to create a one-page company brief. What do they sell? Who buys it? Who are their 3 biggest competitors? What's changing in the industry? What are their biggest risks? But there's one rule. Every important factual claim must have a source. Now you're not just prompting AI, you're learning how to research. Skill number 2 is analysis. Let's say someone gives you an Excel sheet containing 10,000 terms. AI can help you analyze it in seconds. But here's the problem. If you don't know what question you're trying to answer, AI can generate 20 beautiful insights, and that means absolutely nothing. Suppose sales have fallen. Don't ask what insights do you see in this file. Ask which regions caused most of the decline, which products change, did price change, did volume change, was this problem happening before? Now AI becomes an analyst. Now your job becomes asking good questions and checking answers. Skill number 3 is probably the skill I value most from consulting. That is problem solving. Real problems don't arrive as neat questions. Nobody comes and says, "Please execute step A, then step B, then step C." They say, "Sales are falling. Customers are unhappy. This project is delayed. Students are not applying." And now you have to figure out what is actually wrong. Let's take a college example. Imagine your college placement office says, "Placement participation has fallen by 20%. Don't immediately ask AI for a solution. Instead, ask, what could cause this? Student interest, poor companies, low salaries, communication, placement timing, eligibility rules, or is it the bad data? Now you have converted one vague problem into smaller problem. Then ask, which 3 hypotheses should I test first? What evidence would prove or disprove them? And this is how AI should help you think. There's a problem, you create a structure, there is a hypothesis, you get evidence, and then you get to the answer. That difference sounds small. In a workplace, this is a huge differentiator. Now, skill number 4 is where things become really interesting. AI agent and workflows. Don't get intimidated by word agent. Think about a task that you repeat. For example, an interview, you might search for a company, understand its business, find competitors, read recent news, prepare interview questions and create questions to ask the interview. That's 6 steps. Now imagine creating one workflow where you enter a company name and the workflow gives you company overview, competitors, recent developments, 10 likely interview questions, 5 smart questions for the interviewer, and the sources it used. That's useful. And importantly, that is something that you can show in an interview. You can say, I built an AI powered company research workflow that automatically creates interview preparation packs. And you don't necessarily need to become a software engineer to start building these workflows. First, understand the process and then choose the tool. Finally, skill number 5, the communication and the AI judgment. This is the one many students will underestimate. AI can make anything look professional. Professional emails, presentation, charts, reports, which means polished output will become cheap. Good judgment will be expensive. Microsoft's 2026 Work Trend Index asked AI users which human skills become more important as AI takes on more work. And 2 of the responses were quality control of AI output, that was at 50%, and critical thinking at 46%. The future advantage is not merely can I generate this, it is can I tell whether what was generated is actually useful. Before sending AI generated work, ask these 5 simple questions. Is it true? Is it relevant? Does the logic make sense? Is it clear? And most importantly, what should the reader will do after seeing this? That is communication, not making slides look pretty. And now look at what happens when you combine all 5. Someone gives you an unfamiliar problem. You research it, you analyze the information, you structure the problem, you use workflows or agents to remove the repetitive work, and finally communicate a recommendation and check the AI's output. Research, analysis, problem solving, workflows, communication and judgment. And that, my friend, is much more useful definition of being good at AI than knowing 50 prompts. And notice something important. None of these skills depend completely on one tool. ChatGPT can change, Gemini can change, Claude can change. A new tool can become popular 6 months from now, but these capabilities remain useful and companies hunt for these standards. Now watching this video is not enough. So I created a 30-day roadmap inside the free AI skills playbook, where in week 1, do research and verification, week 2, analysis and problem solving, week 3, workflows and agents, and week 4, communication and building your portfolio. And at the end, I have included 3 projects that you can build: an AI market research analyst, an AI data analyst, and an AI workflow builder. The PDF is completely free. The link is in the description. Download it, choose one exercise today, because I think one of the biggest mistakes students will make in the AI era is spending more months learning about AI without ever using it to produce something useful. So don't just learn AI, build evidence that you can use it. And believe me, that's the skill that companies can actually see.